The air was thick with tension as I stumbled upon the discovery that would shatter the foundations of my once stable life. It was an ordinary Tuesday night, and the ominous feeling that had been lingering for weeks compelled me to investigate further. A niggling suspicion led me to the trunk of her car, and there, beneath spare jackets and forgotten groceries, lay a dormant secret, a second phone. As I held the device in my trembling hands, I navigated through its contents, unveiling a clandestine world of messages and photos. My heart pounded in my chest as the truth unfolded before my eyes. My 25-year-old wife, M, was entangled in an affair with Henry, a friend we once considered an inseparable part of our lives. The weight of betrayal pressed down on me, suffocating the air in the dimly lit garage. The soft hum of the refrigerator provided a haunting soundtrack to the unraveling revelation. My fingers scrolled through the messages, each word a dagger carving its mark on my wounded heart. In the midst of the digital betrayal, my mind oscillated between disbelief and a burning desire for clarity. I wrestled with the decision to confront M immediately or to gather evidence, ensuring a decisive end to the lies that had tainted our marriage. For that moment, I chose silence, allowing the darkness to linger, hoping to uncover the depth of the deception before the storm of confrontation. The next morning, the weight of the truth bore down on me like an anchor as I sat at our kitchen table, staring into a cold cup of coffee. M, oblivious to my discovery, moved about the room with an ease that mocked the unraveling chaos in my mind. Amidst the internal turmoil, a phone call interrupted the eerie silence. It was Henry, his voice laced with a casual familiarity that made my skin crawl. I listened, feigning normalcy, as he recounted a mundane anecdote, unaware that I now held the key to the secret life he shared with my wife. The dialogue between M and me became stilted, a dance of words around the unspoken truth. As she babbled about mundane details of her day, I couldn't help but wonder if her casual demeanor was a facade, or if she truly believed the lies she wove into the fabric of our life. In the silent aftermath of that night, I grappled with the monumental decision that loomed ahead. Would I confront her immediately and risk the chance of her denying everything, or would I tread carefully, gathering the evidence needed to ensure that the truth would echo through the impending chaos? The second phone, a silent witness to betrayal, lay dormant, its secrets waiting to be exposed in the chapters that would follow. In the wake of the agonizing discovery, a relentless determination took hold of me. I decided that instead of succumbing to the immediate tempest of emotions, I would embark on a methodical quest for justice. My home office, once a haven of shared dreams, transformed into a war room where the battle for my dignity and the truth would unfold. Armed with the damning evidence from the second phone, I spent countless hours meticulously printing messages and photos that would serve as an indelible record of her betrayal. The printer hummed with a mechanical rhythm, churning out the tangible proof that would become the foundation of my scorched earth response. The click-clack of the keyboard echoed in the room as I delved into the intricacies of divorce law in our at-fault state. My fingers danced across the keys, absorbing the legal nuances that would empower my quest for justice. It was a crash course in a subject I had never imagined needing, a cold plunge into the legal abyss that awaited my marriage. As the evidence piled up, a call was made to a divorce lawyer, a voice on the other end of the line providing a semblance of guidance in the tumultuous sea of emotions. The lawyer's words were measured and pragmatic, urging me to gather all the evidence before the impending confrontation. In the quiet solitude of my makeshift command center, I found an unexpected ally, my old friend T, whose calming voice cut through the chaos. His words offered solace. "I can't believe Henry did this to you, man. Whatever you need, I've got your back." In that moment, the weight of solitude lifted, replaced by the reassurance that I wasn't navigating this treacherous path alone. The decision to confront M, the architect of this emotional wreckage, loomed heavy. As the clock ticked, I rehearsed the words that would pierce through her deceit, wondering if the truth would be enough to elicit remorse or if it would only stoke the fires of her defiance. The following evening, the atmosphere in our home became charged with unspoken tension. M, oblivious to the impending storm, moved about the house with an eerie normalcy. As the seconds ticked away, I took a deep breath and approached her. "Sit down, we need to talk," I said, the weight of my words hanging in the air like a dark cloud. Her eyes met mine, and in that moment, the room became a battlefield where the scorched earth response would unfold, leaving a trail of consequences in its wake. The air crackled with tension as the truth hung heavy in the room, and my wife stared at me with a mix of confusion and guilt as I confronted her with the evidence of her betrayal. "Is this some sick joke?" she stammered, her voice laced with a fragile attempt at innocence. No, Em, it's not a joke. It's the painful reality you've created, I replied, my tone steady despite the tempest raging within. The confrontation was swift and brutal. I presented the printed evidence, the incriminating messages and damning photos that laid bare the affair with Henry. The room, once filled with the promise of love and commitment, became a battleground for the dissolution of our marriage. In the aftermath of the confrontation, I retreated to my war room, armed with the knowledge that my next move would shape the trajectory of my life. The divorce lawyer became my confidant, offering guidance and navigating the labyrinth of legal intricacies. Over the next few days, I meticulously compiled all the evidence, leaving no stone unturned. The lawyer's advice echoed in my mind: be thorough, be relentless. As the evidence folder grew, so did my resolve to end this chapter of my life. The meeting with the divorce lawyer was an unsettling mix of emotions. The office, sterile and indifferent, provided the backdrop for a conversation that would redefine my future. The good news is we're in an at-fault state. The lawyer began, his tone matter-of-fact. Her infidelity works in your favor. She'll have limited claim on your assets. A glimmer of hope flickered amidst the darkness. Swift divorce action became the path forward, a strategic move to sever ties before the wounds festered beyond repair. The decision to end the marriage was not without its internal turmoil. As I signed the divorce papers, the weight of the pen felt heavier than any document should. The lawyer's words resonated. You're doing the right thing. Protect yourself. The swift legal action sent shockwaves through the life we had built together. M, now aware of the irreversible path we were on, attempted to reach out. Can't we talk about this? Work things out? She pleaded, her eyes desperate for a reprieve. I met her gaze with a steely resolve. There's nothing left to talk about. You made your choice. As the lawyer assured me that my assets would remain largely intact, a bitter satisfaction washed over me. The swift divorce action became a symbol of reclaiming control over a narrative that had spun out of grasp. In the quiet aftermath, as the echoes of our crumbling marriage lingered, I found solace in the fact that the legal path forward was clear. The divorce proceedings had begun, and the road to closure stretched ahead, offering a glimmer of hope in the midst of heartbreak. With the ink on the divorce papers barely dry, I couldn't shoulder the weight of this betrayal alone. The burden of truth begged to be shared, a painful revelation that transcended the confines of my solitary pain. As I navigated the treacherous waters of disclosure, I realized that healing required the support of those I held dear. The first person to whom I entrusted my story was Courthou, the friend who had inadvertently introduced me to Henry. In the dimly lit corner of a local bar, I watched his expression morph from casual friendliness to stunned disbelief. What? Henry? Are you serious, man? Courthou exclaimed, his eyes wide with disbelief. I nodded solemnly, the weight of the truth bearing down on us both. I wish it were a sick joke, but it's the reality I'm living. Courthou's initial shock gave way to a palpable sense of guilt. I had no idea, man. If I had known, I would have never introduced you to. It's not your fault, Courthou. You couldn't have known. None of us did, I reassured him, the bitter taste of deception lingering in the air. The next on my list was Henry's fiancée, the unsuspecting victim of this tangled web. I hesitated before making the call, wondering how she would receive this unsettling truth. Hello, her voice, initially warm, grew guarded as I hesitated on the other end. Hey, it's me, I began cautiously. I need to tell you something about Henry. A silence hung between us, pregnant with the weight of impending revelation. As I unveiled the sordid details, her shock transformed into a mix of disbelief and anger. He did what? With your wife? I can't believe this, she exclaimed, her voice teetering on the edge of incredulity. He's betrayed both of us, I responded, a bitter truth that connected our shared pain. The disclosure didn't end there. Friends and family became the recipients of a truth so raw. It felt like exposing an open wound. Each conversation, a painful step towards closure, as the fallout from this revelation rippled through our shared circles. A week later, M's reaction to my revelations took a disturbing turn. A heated argument escalated, and in a fit of rage, she called the police, accusing me of actions I had never committed. The sound of a police officer's stern voice pierced through the chaos. Sir, we've received a complaint. Can you step outside? As the officer listened to my side of the story, I couldn't shake the surreal feeling that my life had morphed into a twisted drama. The accusations were baseless, a desperate attempt to deflect from the truth, that now hung in the open. The encounter left me with a heightened awareness of the unpredictable twists that awaited in the aftermath of betrayal. The scorched earth response, once confined to legal battles, had spilled over into the realms of personal relationships, leaving scars that would take time to heal. The aftermath of the explosive revelations echoed through the halls of our shared existence, leaving an unsettling atmosphere in its wake. The confrontations, the disclosures, and the betrayal had become a volatile cocktail, and the consequences were felt with an intensity that eclipsed anything I had experienced before. In the days following the revelation, the air at home became charged with unspoken tension. My soon-to-be ex-wife, moved through our once-shared space with a ghostly normalcy, oblivious to the tempest brewing beneath the surface. One evening, as the weight of the truth pressed upon us, the tension snapped like a taut rubber band. The quiet of the living room was shattered by a sudden outburst. "How could you do this to me?" M's voice, an anguished cry, filled the room. The accusation hung in the air, a sharp contrast to the silence that followed. I met her gaze, a mixture of pain and resentment etched across her face. The room became a battleground for emotions, with accusations and defenses clashing like titans in an emotional storm. "You did this to yourself," I retorted, my voice steady but laced with bitterness. "I trusted you, I believed in us." Her response was a torrent of excuses and justifications, each word a futile attempt to deflect the blame. The walls, once witnesses to our shared laughter, now absorbed the acrid scent of resentment. The intensity of our interactions escalated as the truth became an inescapable reality. One heated argument led to another until, in a fit of desperation, M called the police, making baseless accusations that cut through the thin veneer of civility. The police officer's stern voice over the phone added a surreal layer to the chaos. "Sir, we've received a complaint. Can you step outside?" In the cold night air, I explained my side of the story, each word a testament to the madness that had engulfed our lives. The officer, a neutral arbiter in the chaos, listened as I recounted the events that led to this point. As I re-entered the house after the police left, the atmosphere had shifted. The lingering echoes of M's accusations lingered in the air, leaving a residue of resentment. The walls felt like silent witnesses to a domestic battlefield, scars etched into the very foundation of our shared history. The emotional tempest, however, wasn't confined to the four walls of our home. The revelation rippled through our shared circles, transforming friendships into minefields of loyalty and betrayal. Dialogues with mutual friends became tense exchanges of loyalty, each word laden with the weight of alliances tested. In the midst of the chaos, the unexpected voice of T, my old friend, cut through the noise. "I know things are tough, but you're doing what's right. Don't let her manipulations cloud your judgment." His support, a lifeline in the storm, reminded me that amidst the intense reactions, there were those who saw through the chaos to the core of my truth. The emotional turbulence, while agonizing, marked a crucial chapter in the unraveling saga of betrayal and healing. The legal battle, once an abstract concept, now unfolded before me like a daunting labyrinth. Armed with a meticulous documentation of M's betrayal, I delved into a world where emotions clashed with statutes, and the scars of infidelity played out in the sterile halls of court. In the stark office of my divorce lawyer, I laid out the evidence, a meticulous record of messages and photos that painted a vivid picture of M's affair. The lawyer, a beacon of detached professionalism, examined the documents with a practiced eye. "This is powerful evidence," he acknowledged, his tone a blend of sympathy and determination. "Infidelity in an at-fault state can tip the scales in your favor." As the legal proceedings unfolded, I found myself navigating a complex terrain where every word and action held weight. The courtroom, a stage for the unraveling drama, became a battleground where the fallout of betrayal clashed with the cold impartiality of the law. In the midst of the legal battle, I sought solace in the support of friends who had become pillars of strength. T, my unwavering confidant, offered words of encouragement as the weight of the proceedings bore down on me. "Stay strong, man. You're doing what's necessary to move forward," he reassured me, his words a balm to the wounds of betrayal. Yet the courtroom was not the only arena where the legal battle played out. Ben's responses oscillated between defiant rebuttals and desperate pleas, each word a testament to the crumbling facade of her once unassailable position. In a tense confrontation during a court hearing, M's lawyer attempted to cast doubt on the validity of my evidence. The air in the room grew thick with tension as he probed, "Are you sure these messages are authentic?" My response, firm and resolute, echoed through the courtroom. "I have nothing to hide. The truth is laid bare in those messages, and I stand by every word. As the legal proceedings continued, I found myself reflecting on the support I had garnered from those who stood by me. Their encouragement became a lifeline in the storm of uncertainty. One evening, as I discussed the unfolding legal battle with W, he offered a glimpse of insight. It's a tough road, but you're doing what needs to be done. Don't let the legalities cloud the fact that you're reclaiming your life. The legal battle, with its intricate dance of arguments and counterarguments, became a pivotal chapter in the saga of betrayal. The courtroom, once a symbol of justice, now stood as the arena where the scars of infidelity were laid bare for scrutiny, and the resolution of the legal battle remained a distant horizon in the tumultuous journey toward closure. As the legal battle waged on, I found myself caught in the storm of emotions and courtroom drama. Amidst the tumult, moments of reflection emerged like fleeting rays of sunlight through dark clouds. The legal proceedings had become a mirror, forcing me to confront not only the actions of others, but also the resilience within. In the quiet solitude of my thoughts, I pondered the intricacies of forgiveness and the fragility of trust. These words echoed in my mind, "You're doing what's necessary to move forward." The storm of emotions raged, yet beneath the surface, a seed of self-discovery took root. During a court recess, W, the friend whose inadvertent introduction led to this tangled web, approached me with a mix of concern and guilt etched across his face. "I never thought Henry would do something like this. I'm sorry, man." His apology hung in the air, a bridge between the past and the present. "None of us saw it coming, W. We were all blindsided," I replied, acknowledging the shared burden of betrayal. As the courtroom drama unfolded, N's demeanor swung between defiance and vulnerability. In a rare moment of candidness during a deposition, she spoke with a hint of remorse. "I never meant for it to go this far. I messed up and I'm sorry." Her words, a fragile admission of guilt, collided with the walls of the courtroom. "Sorry doesn't undo what's been done," I retorted, a reminder that the battle being fought transcended mere legalities. In the quiet aftermath of such encounters, I sought refuge in the unwavering support of friends who had become anchors in the storm. T, always a beacon of pragmatism, offered a perspective that cut through the emotional haze. "You're confronting the truth, and that takes strength. Remember, you're not defined by this chapter, but by how you navigate it," he urged, a reminder that resilience could be found even in the eye of betrayal. The courtroom, once an intimidating arena, became a space for revelations. In the meticulous scrutiny of evidence and the clash of legal arguments, a narrative of empowerment emerged. The storm, though relentless, had not broken me. It had become the crucible where strength and self-discovery forged an unyielding resolve. As the legal battle continued, each session became a crucible of emotions and revelations. In the quiet moments between court hearings, I reflected on the evolving narrative, realizing that the storm, while destructive, had also become the catalyst for a profound transformation within. The legal battle, with its highs and lows, became a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and the pursuit of closure in the face of betrayal. In the final stretch of the legal battle, a sense of weary anticipation hung in the air. The courtroom, once a battleground, now stood as a witness to the unraveling of a chapter fraught with betrayal and resilience. As the proceedings drew to a close, a new horizon emerged, promising the possibility of closure and the potential for fresh beginnings. The courtroom drama had taken its toll, both emotionally and mentally. The evidence presented, the arguments exchanged, and the scars of betrayal laid bare had become indelible marks on the canvas of my life. The legal battle, a crucible of emotions, had tested the limits of endurance. In a quiet moment before the final court hearing, my divorce lawyer, a stoic figure throughout the process, offered a nod of acknowledgement. "You've navigated this with remarkable strength. The end is in sight." His words, a validation of the journey, echoed in the chambers of my mind. The legal battle, with its intricate dance of arguments and counterarguments, had become a means to an end, a pathway toward the closure I desperately sought. As the courtroom doors closed behind me for the last time, a sense of liberation washed over. The weight of legal proceedings lifted, leaving room for introspection and the contemplation of what lay ahead. In the aftermath of the legal storm, friends rallied around me, offering words of support and encouragement. W, the friend whose introduction set the betrayal in motion, approached with a somber expression. "I never thought it would come to this. I'm sorry, man." A nod of understanding passed between us, acknowledging the shared burden of unforeseen consequences. Life has a way of throwing curveballs. We just need to learn how to swing, I replied, a subtle acknowledgement of the resilience forged in the crucible of adversity. In a conversation with T, the anchor in the storm, I sought guidance on navigating the uncharted territory ahead. What comes next? I questioned, the uncertainty of the future looming large. T's response carried a note of optimism. Now you rebuild. Focus on the things that bring you joy and the people who truly matter. This is your chance for a new beginning. The phrase new beginning lingered in the air, a beacon of hope amid the debris of a broken marriage. The legal battle, while a necessary step, had paved the way for a fresh start. In the wake of the storm, new horizons beckoned, promising the potential for growth, healing, and the reclamation of a life marked by resilience and self-discovery. As I stepped out into the sunlight, the closing chapter of the legal battle marked not just an end, but a beginning. The journey through betrayal and legal tumult had transformed into a narrative of strength, resilience, and the pursuit of a future unburdened by the shadows of the past. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you